Jonathan, the Movember campaign comes around again this year. Tell us about what Movember is about.
Basically, it's to bring awareness and support to men's mental health, and the big one is men's cancer and cancer research.
And how long has the campaign been going on? How long have you been doing Movember for?
As an organisation, as the Frontline Mo-Bros, which is a full complement of all the uniformed services within the country, we've been doing this nearly 11 years in one way or another, as individual groups and as the main group itself.
And there's a lot of support as well from other services around the country as well for Frontline Mo-Bros.
Yeah, there is. At the minute we have members from all the services, be it military, voluntary, frontline, emergency, including the likes of nurses, doctors, GPs, stuff like that. So it's not only just a uniformed personnel; it's family, it's friends, supporters. It's a good mixed bag.
And I suppose up to Friday evening, do you know how much money has been raised so far?
I just had a look before we went on air. So we just broke our first milestone of €10,000, so we're up to 11,000 at the minute. So for us, being in a lockdown, being in a pandemic, not being able to get out, do any bucket collections or events, that's amazing work by the lads.
And that's only in a couple of weeks. That's only in a couple of days, really, is it?
A couple of days, yeah. So from the 1st of November to today.
Okay. And over the last week, I'm just following you on Twitter as well. I see that you've done various sort of stages of it. I suppose, do you want to just give our viewers what you've done so far over the last couple of days? Obviously, a lot of exercise and a lot of training for it.
Yeah. So one of the main challenges this year, because of the pandemic, mental health is at the forefront of this campaign. Everybody's locked indoors, so people are struggling, be it on their own or with their family. So the challenge for this year's Movember is to do 500,000 steps, and that represents one of the 500,000 men that unfortunately die by suicide each year. So each step represents one of those men. On top of that, we have individual team members from the Defence Forces, the Army and the Air Corps that are doing an absolute Trojan work and challenges. So we have a lot of stuff lined up over the course of the month.
And this year, Jonathan, is it a lot different for you in terms of what you have to do and the activities towards last year and the last few years? Obviously, there are differences because of the restrictions, but what sort of changes are you seeing this year?
The big one for us is not being able to actually interact with the public, not getting out there and meeting and greeting. Even not being able to tell who's doing Movember because we're all wearing masks. So that's one of the big changes for us. Our events, we can't hold any open days, car washes, all that kind of stuff. So that would have been the big draw for us to get the public in. And just a call coming through there.
Okay, have you to go?
No, I'm good.
Good. Okay, so and the charity car washes and stuff, there's a twofold in that, I suppose, in terms of community interaction as well, and maybe you could share over some fire prevention, fire safety measures as well to the public.
Yeah, absolutely. We were able to hit two birds with one stone, get our message across about Movember and about the actual charity, and then do all our own fire safety stuff for each year. And not only ourselves, but we would have had the likes of the Irish Coast Guard and Irish Water Safety doing their bit. Defence Forces coming in, showing what the Defence Forces do. On Garda Síochána doing their community policing. So there was something there for everybody. And no matter what service you were preferential towards or wanted to join in years to come, you were able to meet and greet and see the equipment up close and personal.
Very good. And I suppose in terms of growing the moustache and so on over the month, does anyone shave it off before the end of the month, or they get tired of it, or does anyone bail out?
There's a few that have already bailed out. The Miracle Grow is starting to come out already with a few of them. But listen, it's all about the crack. It's all about the fun. Growing the Mo-Bro, at the end of the day, it's being part of a wider family, wider community, and that's what it's all about.
Okay, you mentioned about a wider part in different organisations. Your counterparts or colleagues down south in Cork, I see there's a big push for the Cork emergency services as well. So that's good that Would I say the real capital or the other capital, Jonathan, is getting on
No
board as
comment.
well?
You're not pulling me into that one. No comment.
So, Jonathan, whereabouts can people go to in terms of donating and so on?
Yeah, if you head over to Movember.com and search the Frontline Mo-Bros, or alternatively, you can head over to Facebook and search the Frontline Mo-Bros, and you'll find all the links and everything there so they can donate.
All right, Jonathan, thanks very much indeed. Appreciate that.
No problem at all.